She learns early, not because anyone says it out loud, but because the room quietly expects it. She's the first to watch her parents struggle, the first to notice stress in their voices, the first to sense when something isn't right. So she steps forward. She becomes responsible before she's ready, helpful before she's asked, mature before she's allowed to be small. People call her wise for her age. They say she's dependable, strong, capable. What they don't see is the weight that comes with being first. A firstborn daughter often grows up feeling like another parent, not officially, but emotionally. She learns to anticipate needs, to manage moods, to keep the household steady. Psychologists call this parentification, a family dynamic where a child is placed into a caregiver role, taking on emotional or practical responsibilities that were never meant to be theirs. It creates a quiet role reversal, where the child's needs are pushed aside to protect the stability of the parent or the family. And at first, it doesn't feel like harm. It feels like being needed. Over time, something deeper happens. The responsibility doesn't stay external. It becomes internal. This process is called internalization. Instead of seeing the role as something she had to do, she begins to see it as who she is. She learns that love is earned through usefulness, that her value comes from being reliable, that being needed matters more than being honest. So she waits. She becomes the example, the peacemaker, the one who has it together. And slowly she stops asking for help because she's taught everyone and herself that she doesn't need it. As she grows older, the role doesn't disappear, it just changes shape. A parentified child who has internalized her role often grows into a hyper-independent adult. She handles everything on her own, struggles to set boundaries, feels uncomfortable relying on anyone. She may quietly resent always being the strong one, while feeling guilty for wanting rest. Because when you've internalized responsibility for others, letting go feels like failure. She often feels responsible for other people's emotions. If someone is upset, she wonders what she did wrong. If something falls apart, she feels like she didn't do enough. This is where chronic guilt and anxiety take root, not because she's weak, but because she was trained to carry what wasn't hers. In relationships, this can turn into a savior pattern, fixing, overgiving, overfunctioning, staying long past exhaustion. Rest doesn't come easily, neither does softness. She holds herself to impossible standards and criticizes herself when she can't meet them. And even when she succeeds, it rarely feels like enough. Inside, there's a constant tension between who she is and who she was trained to be. Many firstborn daughters struggle with guilt. Guilt for saying no, guilt for choosing themselves, guilt for wanting more than responsibility. They're praised for being strong, but rarely asked if they're tired. They're trusted with everything, but supported with very little. And the hardest part, they often don't realize how much they're carrying because it's all they've ever known. Healing doesn't start with blaming parents or rejecting responsibility altogether. It starts with awareness, with recognizing that being first doesn't mean being everything, that strength doesn't require self-erasure, and love doesn't have to be earned through sacrifice. A firstborn daughter doesn't need to become less capable. She needs permission to become softer, to ask for help without apology, to rest without guilt, to exist without managing everyone else's world. She was never meant to hold it all together, and the moment she lets herself step back, she doesn't become weaker. she becomes free.